Toontown Online is an MMORPG developed by Disney's VR Studios and was officially released on the 2nd of June 2003. Through its lifetime, Toontown Online has received approval by many of its players for its easy-to-learn and yet captivating and clever gameplay. Toontown has received many awards and nominations, including Computer Gaming World's Game of the Year in the category of MMORPG in 2003. The latest award listed among those on the Toontown website was a Parent Approval Award in 2009. Toontown made its first release to the public in August of 2001. During the same time, Nintendo's 8-bit Game Boy Color was soon to be making way for its 32-bit successor, the Game Boy Advance, and Microsoft's all-new Xbox game console was to be released later that year. Maybe this will give you some perspective into how far away 10 years ago is. The beta website can be seen below. This is the first layout of the game website. However, Toontown.com had an even more alien website from what we know of it today. This was before Disney had even purchased the website from its previous owner. You can find all bug fixes and early additions to the game during beta period from the start of them being recorded on the Toontown test website. Beta was completed on January 16, 2002. The reports of the service still running sometime afterwards were reported. Beta 2 period began on September 10, 2002 and continued for 1 month until October 21, 2002. Limited engagement, aka sneak preview, began for those involved in beta periods afterwards, in which all who participated in beta were discounted their first month of paid Toontown. It should be noted that those who played at this point also got to play before the game was officially announced. Did you know that Toontown Online was completely free during beta periods? Did you know there was a Fill a Boat Day, in which we try to fit as many tunes as possible in the Donald's Dock boat? Well, that's all the beta history for now, but perhaps I'll revisit more beta in another video. Toontown was officially released as open to the public on June 2, 2003. In its year of release, specifically August of 2003, Toontown saw updates of many of the modern additions we take for granted today. These updates include the debut of Clarabelle's catalog, the ability of Toons to decorate their estates, help in new Toon tasks, and Toon tips during loading screens, as well as some visual changes such as that now Toons sit on the trolley instead of standing on the step. You'll learn about the fishing update, and on December 19, 2003, we saw the addition of a new COG playground known as Lawbot HQ, or simply COG headquarters at the time. An article by the developers of Toontown Online was published entitled Building a Massively Multiplayer Game for the Million, Disney's Toontown Online. The article is 20 pages and is still available on the University of Texas at Austin website. A link can be found to it in the description below. The next big update we saw was in 2004 and started off with Toon HQ telling us about Flippy losing his doodle. At the time we didn't know what doodle was until Flippy finally got his doodle back, along with a whole lot of others. This was the introduction to the addition of pet shops and doodles. Soon after came Halloween, in which we were treated to the Black Cat Trick update. This was not only the new type of Toon introduced that year, however. Monkeys, another odd new Toon, was voted in after an election to determine the next type of animal in Toontown. The options consisted of cow, monkey, chicken, bear, pig, and goat, and each had their own special speed chat phrase as seen in the image below. These phrases are still in the game and can be accessed by using hacks with the correct speed chat code. The election was meant to coincide with the 2004 US presidential election, and in November 2004, the monkey came online, along with Toontown Germany. The last update of the year was that of Fish Bingo, which also made it possible for players to sell fish at their estates, but only during the bingo. Early next year, in February 2005, Pajama Place was finally open and will lead to the new COG headquarters, Cashbot HQ, which was released 2 weeks later. Prior to the release date of Cashbot HQ, Cellbot Soup Parts would be knocked off after a battle with the VP. However, this was removed on the day of Cashbot HQ's release, on February 17, 2005. In the summer, on June 2, 2005, you can now use your doodle to tune up your team just by calling them in battle. The playground in Goofy Speedways opened on September 15, 2005 and gave Toons the ability to race each other in 3 different arenas with 3 separate tracks each. Things were wrapping up for the year, and just 5 days before Christmas, the Toontown developers gave us an early Christmas present. Bears were now available in Make a Toon, and Toons could now give gifts to their friends using Clarabelle's catalog. In the spring of 2006, a new street, Polar Place, was released to the public, and it gave a path to the long-awaited Lawbot HQ. Despite the giant warning signs and red writing, Toons would gather around the entrance, eagerly awaiting the release of this HQ up until the actual day of its release. Unfortunately, soon after, the Toontown Germany servers went down for good, never seeing the full beauty of Lawbot HQ. This was the first of many foreign servers to meet their fate. With the Lawbot HQ update, players lost the numerical population of each district in their sticker book. It was replaced by color-coded blue, green, red system for determining the amount of toons in the district. Besides this, the famous 48 Hours of Cannon rail from Clarabelle's catalog was added in August 2006, followed by the introduction of State Gardens and Garden. Also, on August 26, 2006, Toontown held its very first Toon Fest, a real-life festival celebrating the game, which featured various competitions and a booth for question and answer with the developers. The festival included other games such as Pin the Tail on the Doodle, a costume contest/parade, a sneak peek of upcoming events that would be coming to the game soon, and an in-game scavenger hunt. The fan event was sold out and took place in North Hollywood, California. Thousands of fans attended, including Disney Channel stars such as Kyle Massey. At the time, Disney boasted that a reported 15 million toons had been created in Toontown's 3-year run.
So, what kind of stuff is going on at the Toon Fest?
Well, I either have like miniature golf. I just saw this giant jelly bean thing. You have to like guess how many jelly beans are in it.
I'm looking forward to looking at some go-karts and maybe a pie in the face.
Tell everyone how to play Toontown Online.
Play Toontown Online, you have to be the toon that you are.
You have to be the toon. Be the toon.
And save Toontown from the evil robots.
And definitely throw pies at people. That's the main thing. You gotta get that down for sure.
And you have a new show coming to Disney Channel next year.
The show is called Corey in the House.
On March 1st, 2007, Toontown Online was integrated with Disney XD and Disney.com, and True Friends replaced Secret Friends with a free chat feature. On March 7, 2007, the pig became the third new toon to win the Toon elections, joining the bear and the monkey. Celebrations broke out with a contest of who could gain 40 laugh points in the shortest amount of time. This was achieved by a red duck named Peppy who was able to reach 40 laugh in just over 2 hours. 3 weeks after the release of the Pig Toon, 4 new trolley games were released: Toon Slingshot, Jungle Vines, Treasure Dive, and Toon Memory Game. Another win was made as higher toons' pleas were answered. Limits on the minimum laugh requirement for certain elevators in Cellbot, Cashbot, and Lawbot HQ were put into action. Then, on the evening of September 12, 2007, Toontown released its first new Toon playground since opening, Chip 'n Dale's Acorn Acres. The name Acorn Acres was chosen in a poll by the toons via the Toontown website, while on the test servers, it was simply referred to as Outdoor Zone. Mini-golf was made available, and a zone marked under construction was placed in the middle of Acorn Acres for speculators to awe at to this day. Rumors spread from 2008 to 2009 after an email received from Toontown Online stated to a previously reliable source that this area was to be used as a minigame area. However, this rumor has been marked as no longer reliable after 4 to 5 years of no further word from Disney, and the forums post has since been locked and eventually deleted. On December 4, 2007, a number of in-game limits were increased, including the ability to now hold 25 speech app phrases, Clarabelle's catalog now offered 20 and 25 item closets, estates could now hold a maximum of 45 items, and the mailbox could now hold up to 30 items. On August 4th, the second annual Toon Fest kicked off and featured many of the same events along with in-game kart racing competitions, another developer Q&A booth, Toon Trivia, and real-life Toon Golf, referencing once again the upcoming minigame playground. This event, like the previous festival, was sold out and took place in Orlando, Florida. No plans have been announced for another Toon Fest. Finally, the long-awaited and heavily speculated Bossbot HQ was made available on March 6, 2008. At the time, Bossbot HQ received much mixed criticism for being different from the other HQs. Then, on April 30, 2008, toons were given more customization by having the ability to purchase name tag fonts from the catalog. The classic Toontown font, Impress BT, would still be available. By June 2008, summer state parties were in full force, and to thank those who had stuck with Toontown as members, 5 new emotions were added, along with much more in the special tab of the catalog. Ignore and report a player functions were added to the game for Internet Safety Month. At the end of the year, Speed Chat Plus was given 5 days before Christmas, a bittersweet Christmas present. While some would argue that this gave players a vast increase in freedom to speak, others argue the crude use of this feature attracts hackers for the ability to easily threaten toons. In February of 2009, Toontown Online SCA went down, becoming the second of the foreign Toontown servers standing. On March 17, 2009, Toontown introduced boarding groups, so that toons could pick and choose their team members for events, and avoid the classic Toontown shuffling of the elevator, in which tens of toons would crowd around an elevator, hopping in and out to get the right group. This chaotic process was no more with boarding groups, This also made it somewhat harder for lower toons to catch a ride in the first VP, CFO, Factory, etc. After this, the next major update was the Toon Parties of March 26, 2009. These featured many minigame style events, including improved cannons from the Toon State Cannon game and the trampoline game. This was the first year a noticeable lack of updates was seen. Finally, on September 30th, 2009, Toontown France servers were taken off the air. On February 13th, 2010, Maverick, or MMAVIPC as he was known on his YouTube account, created the first recorded Python exploit on Toontown, the Toontown Injector. This exploit was soon leaked on the Toontown News forum, but was removed by the owner of said forum. You could say Maverick unlocked the Pandora's box of hacking terror upon Toontown. This has since led to many server attacks, resets, toon obstructions, annoyances, and even encouraged a DDoS of the website. Besides this, Toontown UK was merged with Toontown USA at the beginning of August 2010, while Toontown Japan was taken offline for good by the end of August 2010. On February 17, 2011, toons were treated to the last update related to the game's combat, the field offices. These new buildings were greatly criticized as boring, unnecessary, too easy, having low rewards, and clogging the streets of every playground. On July 7, 2011, GameCrazy441 released a video of his bots that he would soon use to fill every district in the game. The flooding of the districts was done in protest of Disney failing to patch the Toontown Injector exploit that had plagued Toontown since 2010. The code was leaked and eventually patched. On July 14, 2011, another relatively small update came online. Accessories were released on Toontown, giving more accessorization to toons. This also gave the game recognition to the public when the Disney short Get Connected did a special on this update on the Disney Channel. On August 31, 2011, Toontown Brazil became the final foreign Toontown game to shut down its servers. Nothing. We received absolutely nothing. I could go into the detail on the lots of YouTube community chaos that went down, but I'll save that for another time. So, we've made it to the present. 10 years of history, and what do we have now? Well, on January 18th, 2013, we got maps for streets, though that was more aimed at newer players who couldn't find their own way. After April 11th, 2013, we could run faster. Then, on June 2nd, 2013, Toontown hit its 10th anniversary since it was released. Congratulations, Toontown.